Hey everybody, Dave here with the Wags Automotive again. And while I'm here working on that 48 Chevy truck, I'm helping my brother with this 64 Triumph Spitfire. We're replacing metal on it too because it's pretty rough. So let me show you what we found on this and what we're going to do to fix it, okay? So we've ordered a bunch of sheet metal for it, and then we got to cleaning and disassembling, and we found more problems with it. So we had to order more sheet metal. And it's kind of funny because this quarter panel here isn't too bad, except right there where it's got a little bit of filler in it. But my brother ordered the piece that goes across there, the patch piece, okay? Well, this side over here, this quarter panel over here is, as you can see, it's just full of putty. Looks horrible. And if you look on the inside, you can see how somebody wrecked it. And then, I mean, there's a big crease in the metal right there. See that crease? They wrecked it, and then they beat the piss out of it with a hammer, and then just filled it up with body filler to make it look smooth. So that's horrible. So he ordered this quarter panel. I convinced him to take this quarter panel off and replace it. So we ordered this quarter panel and to have it replaced. Well, when he got it in the mail, he opened it up the box, and it was this quarter panel. So he's like, crap, they sent me the wrong one. Well, then he went back to look at his order, and he's like, nope, I ordered this one. So then he had to order that one. So I guess we're going to end up putting two quarter panels on it. Might as well, we got them, we might as well use them. So, and then of course we're going to put the tail panel on it, because this tail panel is, that's full of filler. I mean, literally full of filler. It's just crazy. You can see right there how thick it is, and right there how thick that is. I mean, that's just, like I said, I don't do this kind of work. It's just, I don't know why people do, but I guess they just don't want to spend the money. So anyhow, today we've got some damage to the floor right here, the trunk floor. I mean, this thing looks like it may have been hit on the side here at one point and pushed all this in. And obviously they backed into stuff with it because there's body filler back here everywhere. So whoever had this car treated it pretty roughly. And obviously didn't know how to drive very well either, I don't think. So today we're going to start on this. We're going to start by removing this tail panel. We're going to remove that first, and then the trunk pan. And we're going to, one thing you got to remember when you're doing this, you don't want to, I mean, I've seen people literally take the whole back end of a car off and then try to put it back together. But if you've got panels like this that are, you know, in the right orientation, you know, if this was all crushed in, then you'd probably have to replace the whole thing. But in this situation, when you've got rust like this, you've got a panel that's still in the original position, it's just rusted, then if you take a piece out, like they say, this tail panel, which attaches to the quarter panel right there, and the trunk pan, which attaches to the quarter panel back there, excuse me, if you remove one piece at a time, or in this case, we're going to remove the tail panel and the trunk pan, then you can orientate it with the original panels that are still there, and you know it's correct. I mean, you don't want to weld them to it, but you can screw them to it with screws to temporarily hold them until you get to the point where you're going to remove the quarter panel and replace it. But I mean, there are places we can weld this trunk pan in, you know, all the way across there. We can weld it in place, and across the wheel houses we can weld it in. Now this tail panel, we can weld it on these corners right here and right here. And we can weld it to the trunk pan down there, but of course we won't weld it to the quarter panel where it attaches here. We can screw it in place, which we'll do. Hold it with screws because you want to make sure it's in the right orientation. So we'll do that, but we're going to leave the quarter panels in place until we get the trunk pan and the tail panel orientated where they're supposed to be and make sure they're right. And we took a measurement from the center of this hole to the center of that hole, and we wrote that down. It was like a little less than 45 inches, 44 7/8 or something like that, I think. So we wrote that measurement down, and once we pull this panel off and pull the trunk pan out, we'll measure this across there one more time and make sure that measurement's still the same. It shouldn't move, but with as much damage as there is in this car, as much bent metal as there is, it might shift a little bit. But we'll know anyhow because we'll try to put the new panels in and they won't fit. But we want to make sure, no matter what, we want to make sure when we're done with this car, and we got all the quarter panels replaced, tail panel, trunk panel, all that replaced, that measurement's still the same. Because that's kind of tells you, you know, everything's right with the car. So So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start working on this. He's going to start working on this tail pan today. And what we're going to do, we're going to cut around right next to the seam all the way around on it with a grinder. Just cut the main center section out, and then we'll work on popping the spot welds out and getting the rest of the pieces out so we can get the new pieces in there. So he's going to get started on that, and I'll try to video it as we go, show you what he's doing with that. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.